And we are live. Good morning, crypto warriors, and welcome back to the Gentleman of Crypto episode 216. Today is Monday, July 30th, and I'm King. Bitcoin Zay is actually going to be out for the better part of this week as well. So we're going to keep the show rolling with myself, and he'll pop in when he can. He's going away on business. A lot of good news coming out of crypto over the weekend. Again, the price held, so the FUD had to stop for the most part. But until we get into the news, let me give away those free Satoshis from last week. The winner was Bergtown Music Group. We asked what other coins should have been in that top 10 list on returns last year. And he said, or she said, Dragon Chain deserves to be in the top 10. It was 0.06 cent at ICO, so 6 cent at ICO. Rose over 8,000% to $5 and still retains good value, up over 400% at 28 cents. And they're right. I think the baseline, the minimums that article was looking at was about 6,000% gains. So again, I didn't do the due diligence on Dragon Chain itself, but if this is true, this is the only comment too, which is why I didn't do due diligence. But yeah, if it went from 6 cents to $5 and still at 28 cents, that was a huge win and another reason why the traditional market needs to get off their high horse and come on over to crypto. D-True7695, good morning. Shannon Allen, what's going on? Good morning. Happy belated birthday to you. Milto, good morning as well. Let some more folks load in. All right, for the top story today, Telegram is in the news again. Telegram reveals personal ID verification tool for sharing data with finance ICOs. Basically, Telegram, as well as Stratus, is attempting to do it as well. It's basically Jack and Vinny Lingham idea of the civic key and personal identification on a decentralized blockchain that you only own and control. That's not all we hear, the decentralized part, but the fact that people are trying to do this new tool, these new tools for sharing data, basically your personal data with other countries or other applications, is going to be very big in the space. I mean, the tool is dubbed Telegram Passport. It reportedly encrypts a user's personal ID information and lets users securely share their ID data with third parties, which the Telegram post elaborates on as finance, ICOs, and etc. Users' ID will be currently stored on the Telegram cloud, but in the future, all Telegram Passport data will be moved to a decentralized cloud. Of course, that's what they all say because that's what they want you to believe in. Fact of the matter, and probably more closer to the truth, is that it will be stored on their centralized cloud that they own, not just Telegram, but Vinny as well, and Stratus as well, until their company's worth a lot more. Once their company's worth a lot more money, then they'll decide to either, okay, let's make this thing truly, fully decentralized, or they'll say, hey, we got 500,000 people who've signed up for our personal user ID platform to, for third-party access to only come through us. And we're going to sell this off to another company and make a lot of money. So we'll see what happens. Gabriel Hernandez, yes, today was a tennis day. Good morning, though. Sergeant Crypto, what's going on? Yes, GOD TV. So, again, this is one of those things that's going to be big in the community, really big. And that's no one wants to share their data, all right? Yeah, I feel like it should already be illegal, but it's not, because the government gives in to the corporations. But, you talk about Facebook, Instagram, Snapchat. You sign all these inter-users agreements, which most people don't read, but usually you give them all rights to whatever content you're putting up there. And then you lose some of your rights as well as far as privacy rights in which you have control over. Of course, we just saw that with Facebook and the whole, U.S. Senate hearing and all that. And just for people who have just watched this for the first time, that Senate hearing with Facebook had nothing to do. It had everything to do with Mark Zuckerberg considering to run for president in 2020. And they were all being proactive, saying, let's just go ahead and nip this guy in the bud right now so we don't have to deal with him a couple years down the line. It had nothing to do with your personal data, but that became the headline, the clip, whoever it was, your personal data, and the fact that everybody can share it. Any company that has enough money can go to Mark Zuckerberg with Facebook and go to Snapchat with Spiegel or Instagram. All these founders, they can go to these people and just say, hey, we want to buy customer data at however much a month or a year, and they'll just sell it to them. So with applications like the Stratus when they're forming, with Civic Key, which is one of the first out there, not the first, and then Telegram now with their Telegram Passport, what this is hoping to do is say, hey, you have all your personal ID all the way down to your social security number, your passport, any personal information you have, your favorite movies, whatever you want to put on some of these things. And the only way a third party can get this access isn't by buying it from Telegram or buying this information from Facebook, is by going to you, the end customer, and you saying, okay, check this box. You're allowed to have some of this personal information for this amount of time. So no one's perfected this yet. But again, CiviKey has been leading the way on it. You know, again, we had that ICO out on our Instagram. We actually did that one live last year, but that's one of the ones we think that if Vinny Legram keeps his head down and works on his project, it could be a very big deal. So shout out to Telegram for trying to do the same as well. I mean, it's going to be a crowded market in the next decade, I feel. Litecoin founder Charlie Lee confirms Litecoin support for HTC blockchain phone. If you remember, we were talking about this HTC blockchain phone Exodus. Looks like Charlie Lee is now the co-founder of it. Of course, he's the Litecoin co-founder as well. Excuse me, not the co-founder, but he's an advisor to the HTC Exodus. Again, this is a native blockchain smartphone developed by the Taiwanese consumer electronics firm, HTC Corporation. So they're basically trying to say, hey, you're going to put your crypto wallet, literally build it into your phone, build a blockchain to your phone. There's no reason to go off the phone. But this is really big for crypto in general, not just because of the application of the phone, but really big for crypto, for Bitcoin, and for Litecoin, because as Charlie Lee quoted, met the HTC Exodus team last week and was really excited to hear the phone will support Litecoin and Lightning Network, which is really big on Litecoin activity. I will be an advisor as I see having a secure crypto phone that makes Lightning Network simple is needed for mass adoption. P.S. No, they will not remove Bitcoin. He's right. Huge. You talk about Lightning Network. You know, we have you know, one of our team members, shout out to Bitcoin Vegan. He's working on in-house Lightning Network, some nodes for us as well as a couple other people. You know, we're trying to get some things running, but this will be huge where if Lightning Network is already implemented on the smartphone, and for those who aren't tech savvy, they don't need to do anything extra. They can literally just grab the phone, make these side chain transactions even faster. Scaling can help with it as well, if of course this all works. We know this is going to have to be tested, retested, and tested 10 more times over again before all the bugs are figured out. But this is going to be huge. Again, this phone is slated for the release of third quarter of this year. And HTC has indicated that every Exodus device will be a node, and this will allow users to own their identity and their data by having both on their devices as opposed to being on a centralized cloud. Additionally, every device will come with a cold storage wallet of cryptocurrencies. Again, people, huge. For iPhone users, I'm not sure how Android does, but you know, you put your stuff in the Apple Cloud and all that. If you have the blockchain already downloaded to your phone and you can put things on the blockchain on your phone, then pull them up on your internet, on your laptop, or wherever else, of course, using those private keys and being able to access that information without a third party, huge, people. As the president would say, huge. All right, this is going to be amazing. And again, it's even better that Lightning Network looks like it may be on there as well. This is the right movement toward decentralization. So kudos to HTC and Charlie Lee for making this happen. Now, you know how to talk about this one. New Gallup poll shows only 2% of U.S. investors own Bitcoin, but 26% are intrigued. The results of a Wells Fargo/Gallup poll published July 27th finds that only 2% of U.S. investors own Bitcoin. Again, 26% are intrigued by it. The online survey was conducted May 7th through 14th, 2018 amongst U.S. investors with more than $10,000 in stocks, bonds, or mutual funds. The results show that the overwhelming majority of investors who have already heard of Bitcoin will not be investing in the leading cryptocurrency anytime soon, with 72% saying they have no interest in ever buying Bitcoin. Okay. This survey, like all surveys, you know, this is something you learn in school when it comes to, exactly, Shannon Allen, thank you. I'm sure that is a skewed major. Exactly. If you took stats in college, I forgot the other class, what was it called? Stats and something else. Another class I took during the summer that I was not a fan of, but it did teach you how to do a lot of really good research and cross-reference checking and all that good stuff. Combined with military, you learn even more how to do even more research and literally find out how these answers and how these polls are shaped. And what you find out is that you can really shape almost any poll, any survey, whatever you want the answers to be, you can shape it for that. You can ask specific questions to make people give you favorable answers for what you want. So with that being said, a poll like this, it's not even worth listening to. Again, shame on you all for even printing. I get it. It is news. You need to, put it out there. But Maxwell Williams, you also need to throw out there that, hey, the chances of this not being heavily biased, this should have the same thing as the sponsored articles has when it has a sponsored on the post, wherever it has a tag. This should have a tag too, because for one, you're talking about U.S. investors with more than $10,000 in stocks. While that does represent some of the crypto market people who have money who got in, it doesn't represent a lot of the earlier people in the crypto market who were really just building up the community and stuff and didn't have a lot of money. Bitcoin Zay's story in general is about how he was a teacher, he was a broke, and he saw this as a way for financial freedom. He probably didn't have $10,000 in stocks, bonds, mutual funds. I don't know, but you're telling me if he didn't, he wasn't included into that $10,000 plus population, then you wouldn't count him as a person who is actually investing and buying Bitcoin? Makes no sense. So that right there alone shows that these results are truly skewed. I'm going to talk about 2%, extremely low number. But the positive thing about this story is that if this is a number of people investing over $10,000 in stock, bonds, mutual funds, which again, if you're doing mutual funds, that is so boring. You probably wouldn't do cryptocurrency. So I can understand why it says 76% of these people wouldn't do it. Like, of course, you're happy with your 0.0 whatever percent gain a month. This is something totally different. This is for people who are a little bit more bold. So I can understand that. But yeah, if it's only 2%, the positive is that there's a lot more people who are going to adopt Bitcoin and crypto one day, whether they know it or not, like the banks. And all these other billionaire CEOs, like whether they know it or not, they will one day adopt Bitcoin. So that's pretty good. Edward Bernays propaganda, exactly. Yep, that's another good one. If you haven't watched that on YouTube, check that out. Edward Bernays propaganda. Hola, Madam Crypto. Hello, hello, hello. So yeah, this is a off survey, but whatever, it's all good. Look, this one even says the report also states that related to the age differences, investors with less than $100,000 in investments who tend to be younger are more likely to be familiar with the innovation than those with higher asset levels. No duh. It's new technology is almost always going to be adopted by people younger. I mean, that goes without saying. That's even some of the new stuff now where I look at like, I don't understand why people are using this. And there's a 12-year-old who loves it. So that goes without saying. And then with less than 100,000 investments, of course they tend to be younger. It takes time to accumulate money. So, yeah, this report isn't saying nothing new. A little bit of Monday morning FUD. Gibraltar United to become first football club to pay players in cryptocurrencies. Now, I can't remember if this is the team and it's an old story or we covered it with another team, because I know in the football world, a lot of teams have actually got onto the cryptocurrency train, whether they're just supporting it from the outside, advising companies, whatever. But it looks like Gibraltar United, a premium division football team, will become the first football team to pay its players in cryptocurrencies next season, according to The Guardian. We know that's an awesome news source. But team owner Pablo Dana, who has invested in QuantaCoin, a platform designed to provide cryptocurrencies for everyday uses, has started a sponsorship partnership, one of several instances of football teams and athletes finding use of cryptocurrencies. All right, so their actual team owners invested in crypto. I can see why he would see the immediate benefits of paying his club in crypto. I mean, you're talking about, I'm not sure their budget because I know some of the teams are smaller. But if you do, let's say you have a big budget team, hundreds of millions or even hundreds of thousands of people, to be able to pay that in crypto, that takes a lot of the ownership back for the team owners and the team organization as well as the players itself. And it does nothing but muddy the waters, of course, for those regulators there in that country. But you know what? They're still in anyway. So shout out to Gibraltar. It looks like, he's hoping to bring legitimacy into, or the nation in general is wanting to bring legitimacy into crypto trading. Dana said Gibraltar United wants to bring more transparency to football, believing that technology will reduce the corruption that has befallen the sport. Cryptocurrency has also provided means for paying foreign players who struggle to establish bank accounts in Gibraltar while sidestepping taxes and fees. Wow. So really good news. Good news. And I think, again, it's kind of like we said with the countries. You got the petro dollar over here. Ruble coin, and all these other coins, CBDCs trying to get made. Everybody's trying to copy out what country, what company does it first. It's going to be the same as sports teams. There will be sports teams to sit back and look at Gibraltar this season and say, how does paying your team all or some of their money in crypto work? We want to know. Tell us about it. And I'm sure Gibraltar United, they're going to have PR stories come out. They're going to let you know, hey, this is a bad idea. This is a great idea. And after that, there will be more teams that adopt it. Because when you're talking about multi-billion-dollar teams and some of the teams who are worth billions of dollars, New York Yankees, maybe at this point even Seattle Seahawks, Dallas Cowboys. Who am I missing? Some of those bigger LA Lakers. I'm not sure how much they're worth these days, but these bigger teams, if they find out paying their players in crypto not only works and is a better, more efficient way than doing it the traditional way, they will start to figure it out. All right. It might not be all salary up front because I can guarantee, at least in the United States, the government will not have that. They're not going to have the Lakers, the Yankees, or the Cowboys paying their players over $100 million salaries in crypto. They do not want to see that happen. But to even be able to say, hey, we can give you your playoff bonus in this, or some type of bonus in the crypto. We can do something with crypto. We don't have to do the whole thing. We can just do it slowly. That is going to be a big step. But the moment you do get one of these multi-billion-dollar teams, the Patriots, paying everyone on their roster, including coaches, GMs, locker room staff, janitors, custodians, cooks, you get to paying that entire organization in crypto. It changes the game, people. It will literally change the game for everything. So I think that'll be huge. Kobe Fields said Mavericks would be the first ones to do it. That's probably true, actually, because they're on it. Alex Daly, Bitcoin to the moon. For sure. If Alex says it, then this is true. Shannon Allen said they're looking into doing point-of-sale transactions in the premium areas of the stadium to start things out. Yes, that is going to be the biggest thing. Again, it's something that can already be implemented. For those who ever done any POS systems, point-of-sale systems with cryptocurrencies, we talk about BitPay and some of these other ones. BitPay is starting to become more just straight corporate now, but we have a couple linked to our site as well. I can't even think off the top of my head, but they work, people, and we tell people they literally turn your crypto, whatever you accept. We got one we accept all 100 different forms of cryptocurrency. It turns it into fiat currency immediately when you get it, or you can just hold it in crypto almost like as a separate portfolio and watch it grow and cash out whenever you want, weekly, daily, and all that. Kobe Fields, that and NCAA teams will be paying college athletes in Monero from now on. Oh, of course. I can't wait to see the NCAA just get disrupted. I mean, you talk about just corruption and thievery at its finest. Like, I was an NCAA athlete at NC State. I've seen it up close. I get it. For all those who argue against the athletes, in school, it's ridiculous because it is a full-time job and you are getting minimum wage for it basically. And for the whole education debate, listen, I got 2 degrees while I was in school. I think you should. But at the same time, some guys who's 18, who is an adult, who can go fight a war, if he says or she says, look, I'm just trying to go to school for 6 months real quick to this end professional season start, and I'm just want to play ball here, and I really can care less about class. Well, hey, if you would have started up Ethereum, no one would have talked to you about going to school either. If you would have started Facebook or Microsoft, no one would have told you needed to go to school. All right, so do whatever it is you do to make you happy. Kim Kardashian West raises stakes with Bitcoin and charity poker night out. Kim Kardashian West, of course, the reality TV star, has 114 million followers on Instagram. That is literally almost half of the nation's, it's probably a little bit more. It's about half the nation's population. She has in America, United States, about 330 million. She has 114 million Instagram followers. And she basically posted an Instagram story, I guess yesterday or a couple of days ago, of her betting with poker. It was actually yesterday, July 29th, of her betting with poker chips. The star posted a picture in which she bet what appeared to be a physical Bitcoin chip accompanied by the jubilant byline, "We've moved on to Bitcoin." You can see it here. It's just a shout out to Bitcoin. It looks like a Bitcoin enthusiast at the event gave her this, I guess, is what's it called? Kind of keepsake. It was a Calera designed Bitcoin. I think I'm saying that right. Calera designed Bitcoin, which crypto entrepreneur Matt Rozak claims to have given her at a tournament early that day. It was a charity tournament, charity poker tournament. Here you can see him giving it to her. Again, people, this is how you push adoption. You go to events, even events that aren't crypto focused or crypto centric, and you have these keepsakes. Where some of our meetups people do, they have all types of things they trade. They gave us some cool stuff, but you just give it to people. And you're at an event with Kim Kardashian West or some other huge socialite or celebrity or some type, somebody who's infamous or famous, and you give them one of these things, I mean, they'll happily post it, people. And this was definitely pretty cool of her to do. Again, 114 million followers. I'm sure, you know, we look for ROI on 3% we do in marketing. So I'm sure at least 3% of those people took to that and either already knew what it was or at least heard of it and say, well, let me look up what this Bitcoin thing is, why this wealthy woman worth about $350 million is talking about it. So pretty cool to see that. Alex Daly said, what's the next conference? We're going to be at the next conference, and we have it in our link too for the discount code. It's going to be World CryptoCon in October for Halloween. Right now, that's the next planned one. We do any meetups or anything before that, we definitely let people know. I know Bitcoin Zay has been on the East Coast last week and this week. I know today and tomorrow he's doing meetups and holding conferences and stuff. So those are the only official ones right now. Harold George said that whole Kardashian Jenner family knows how to hustle, can't knock them. Listen, I give it to them. They definitely know how to hustle. I think it was Bitcoin's there. Somebody brought it to my attention that Bruce Jenner turned into Caitlyn, I guess, after he killed somebody in that car crash and got swept under the rug. And then he did that. And I didn't even think about that. But I was just like, oh, wow, that was a big play. That was a smart play. And it worked out for their family financially as well as just on the social standing as well. Last couple of quick stories. McDonald's unveils MacCoin to celebrate Big Mac's 50th anniversary. All right. Now I'm about to clown McDonald's on this because they didn't even have, I went back. Let me go back on the story. They didn't even have the common courtesy and decency to say where they got the idea from. They basically said they came up with MacCoin out the blue on their own with no external thoughts, basically. And of course, we know that's a lie because it's trying to mimic Bitcoin. But it looks like for their 50th anniversary, starting on Thursday, customers can receive a MacCoin with the purchase of a Big Mac at 14,000 participating restaurants across the U.S. The coin is good for another Big Mac, so it's kind of like Oscar Mayer's Baycoin as well. I have like a piece of dust here. You know, Oscar Mayer had the Baycoin, and the Baycoin actually did well in the market. You know, ended up, I think, at its peak being worth about 14 pieces of bacon for a split second or a few seconds throughout one night. So if you had a Baycoin, you could have redeemed it for 14 pieces of bacon at one point. And then I think finally it tapered back off to 3 pieces of bacon, which is good. This is, I mean, it was a real market. It was pretty cool to see. But it looks like McDonald's is going to try to do it with Big Mac. But again, it's their reasoning, which is why I kind of pulled this story up. It was almost a great story until they had to be selfish. If they could have literally said, hey, what's going on with the cryptocurrency madness and everything, we want to, you know, this is our promotional thing, we want to do it. But instead, in an interview with USA Today, McDonald's CEO Steve Easterbrook explained that, you know, the coin sprung from the role that Big Mac has played in measuring purchasing power. In 1986, the economists started using the Big Mac index as a way of measuring the purchasing power of international currency. They use it to this day. Easterbrook said, why not have some fun with it, create our own currency? All right. I had no clue that people were using Big Macs as a way of international currency purchasing power. I'm sure I'm not the only one who ever heard of this, who haven't heard of this. I've been seeing this anywhere. I know gold used to be used, as well as a few other different things, and now we're even using it with crypto. But I did not know Big Mac is doing it, so he says. And this is the reason why Big Mac's doing the MacCoin. But you know what? Shout out for swagger jacking. Why not? We've seen the blockchain stimulus package go into effect, so why not see the whatever coin stimulus package come into effect as well? Looks like they're gonna have 5 different designs, and that is all my shilling for the MacCoin. They haven't earned the right to be shilled on this channel. They didn't even give credit to crypto. Come on. Yes, smash that like and share, people. And last but not least, BitGo's Lopp offers $100,000 reward to catch person who swatted him. Now, if you didn't know, Jameson Lopp, who is a SegWit 2X opponent, you know, we talked about SegWit 2X, the war that happened last year, the internal Bitcoin civil war. He's a BitGo engineer. and the creator of Satoshi.info, has offered a $100,000 reward to anyone who provides information leads to the arrest and conviction of the person who made a fraudulent police report in October claiming he had killed someone at Lopp's house in Durham, North Carolina, and was holding people hostage, drawing a SWAT team to the scene. First of all, shout out Durham, North Carolina. If you don't know, Durham is where Duke is at. They're literally about 10 minutes away from North Carolina State. And of course, Chapel Hill's right over there, RDU's, North Carolina Central, HBCU's there. Literally, this is the same area Bitcoin Zay came out of, I came out of for college. James and Lopp's working there. You have Coinbase's co-founder came out of Duke from Durham, North Carolina. So a lot of technological talent and intellectual people there. I didn't realize he was even living in Durham, North Carolina when I saw this story. So shout out Durham. Durhamites, get your stuff together. You got James and Lopp right next door. James can go outside and teach some of these neighborhoods about coding and stuff. They need it. But if you haven't heard, I think Vice News did a story on this a few years ago, whatever, which is called swatting, where people will call the SWAT team on your location as a prank. And this one, it looks like, you know, they told the SWAT team, I'm looking for the story here. Somebody called the scene, or somebody called the SWAT team. They said somebody was shot. It was a hostage situation, and that Jameson Lopp was in his home, holding hostages, getting ready to kill more people. So of course, they sent the SWAT team. They came in. If you remember the picture he put up on Twitter last year, he basically had, I can't remember what type of weapon it was, maybe a shotgun or something he had laying by his lap or his computer or whatever. But he said no one came to him from the police department with a perpetrator to bring to justice. So he's now saying, hey, I now have a $100,000 bounty out on this person to tell me who he is. He signed his $100,000 reward offer with his PGP key, so you know it is real. And people, this is cryptocurrency. This is the Wild West of cryptocurrency. And this is where we think the world is going next. At least this is where I think the world is going next. When you have people in crypto who have a lot of money and who have the means and the resources to get things done on their own, and you see first a fake SWAT team invasion, which should not have happened, and then of course all they can say is, hey, sorry to him and bye. Somebody called us. And then they can't even find the perpetrator. I mean, to me, that's almost a double insult. Yeah, when you get people like Maccabee, when you get people like the Winklevoss twins, Coinbase people, or Roger Ver talking about starting his own country, and they have enough money, a SWAT team won't be able to kick in their door. You're not going to kick in Maccabee's door with a SWAT team, all right? It's not happening. So first, that's why I keep telling people, I'm like, people are going to start forming their own security resources. You're not going to be kicking in anybody's door just because you're the police. And then there are going to be the people who say, you know what, since they can't do their job, I have money for somebody to find and catch this person. And people will go out and find and catch these people. They're called bounty hunters for these rewards. It's going to develop into an entirely new ecosystem being led by people who are crypto wealthy. So I think that'll be a big thing. Next thing up. All right. Let's see, Harold George said, I don't mind crypto bounties for some of these killer gamers who like swatting folks is dangerous and stupid. Swatting is dangerous and stupid. I'd never heard of it actually until it happened to him. And like I said, I watched the Vice story. If you haven't seen people, it is crazy. It's a real thing. They're actually, when they find out who swats people, they're actually charging them like a petty crime, but they're making them pay for the amount of money it costs the SWAT team to come and do their thing, whatever. I remember they arrested one guy in Canada, I think on the Vice News story. He was like 16 years old, and he was responsible for over 250 swatting things in the United States and Canada alone. So that's who they say are doing it. It's a lot of younger people who are PO for whatever reason. And they're, hey, you know what? We can't beat you up. We can't take your money. We can't sue you. We will SWAT you. And that is what they're doing. So that's what happens. All right, for the free Satoshis today, let's see. The free Satoshis. What's a great question? I don't know about a great question, but all right. If there was another fast food restaurant to come out with another coin, as we sure will see, I'm certain, which fast food restaurant will it be, and what would be their coin name? So here, easy one. Keep it light. Have fun with it. Put that in the public comments on the YouTube channel when we're done. And we'll announce those free Satoshis tomorrow. And let's see, last couple of comments. Shannon Allen said, I saw it happen with Tariq Nasheed. they have not arrested people yet, even though they had said things on Twitter. It's crazy. I mean, it's getting out of control. And again, we're going to be at World CryptoCon October 31st and November 2nd. Here you can see our code. We have it in notes too. It's a code for you to get a discount, $250 off the ticket. If you're planning to go, they already have over 1,000 people coming. I know like the first two early bird ticket prices have already been sold out. So make sure you hop on it early before it is already sold out. Again, this is our code KBRE. For whatever reason, they actually put our name backwards, 250 for $250 off general admission. All right, everyone, you all have a great one, and I will see you tomorrow. Happy Monday. Let's get this week started off on a good note. Cheers.